weekend. Last Saturday, first game up was Falcons and Eagles. And, man, it was a pretty good game. It was fun to watch. Came right down to the very bloody end, last play of the game, with an attempt by Matt Ryan to hit Julio Jones. Did not work out. But when you look at the highlights themselves, there was plenty to like about this game. You know, many thought, and I'm among those many, that the Falcons wouldn't get this far this year. Well, they did. They got to the divisional round, and it came down to a defensive struggle. One thing turns around here on a possession for Philadelphia. They turned that into a big touchdown by LeGarrette Blount. Falcons are able to dump that ball off. Nice play by Matt Ryan, getting the ball to Devontae Freeman. That gave the Falcons a pretty good-looking situation there. They're ahead. Philadelphia's got a chance. Can they match it? Yes, they can. Now you're looking at 12-10. You're looking at a last possession coming up here. Now we're 15-10. Falcons are getting the ball back. Matt Ryan in the past has been able to pull a lot of these off. In fact, this was 2016 season. Falcons probably win this. But it's just a different offense. And there's no sugarcoating it. The Falcons are not the same. Maybe it is the coordinator. Maybe his sort of simpatico in there with his quarterback. They're not thinking with one brain. Well, their one brain is on the sideline because Philadelphia won that game. The second game on Saturday was a pretty easy one to explain. It was the New England Patriots having the Tennessee Titans come up into the freezer box that was Gillette Stadium, and it was never really close. Marcus Mariota never had a chance. He was harassed. He was hit. Their running game never really had a chance to be the difference. And just frankly, the defense could not handle that Patriots offense. So it was pretty much easy breezy for the New England Patriots. Come up for Sunday's games. Sunday's games, nice example of fun to watch football. Now, I'm not a defensive guy. So a game like this between the Steelers and the Jags, it's my kind of football. It's offense. Jaguars won it 45-42. Now, as we roll through these highlights, keep in mind, Jaguars had one of the best defenses in the league this year. Steelers have a defense that pretty much year in and year out is one of the highest ranked defenses in the league. Jags are just different. They have a really good offensive line. They've got a rookie running back in Leonard Fournette that has made a gigantic difference to their football team. And like I said, their defense in the past has been really good. They got off to a big start. They got off to a big lead. And then they basically made Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers just throw the ball. Well, sometimes that works out well. And sometimes what that does is that basically creates a scoring contest. So it's 21-0. In most games between a team that runs the ball well and a really good defense, this game is over. But Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, the rest of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they weren't having any of it. They came back. They made things happen. The Jags defense made things happen, and it turned into a can you match this the rest of the game. And I don't mean can you match this because this defense is going to score a lot. I mean offense on offense. That meant Blake Bortles against Ben Roethlisberger. And Ben Roethlisberger was dropping dimes. That one to Martavius Bryant. What a fun game to watch. Heck, I bet it was a great game to be at. Now, if you're a coach, especially if you're a defensive coach, this is not your favorite kind of football. because Pittsburgh couldn't stop the Jags, and Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh offense just kept matching. It was a 14-point lead, and they'd cut it to 7. Then they'd drag it back out to a 14-point lead. Tommy Bohannon, ex-Wake Forest, there he goes. Then they drag it back. It's a 14-point lead. Hey, about to be a 7-point lead. Now, a field goal makes it a 10-point lead. That was really the difference in this football game right there with that field goal, because they matched the score, but Pittsburgh could never quite catch up. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're on to the championship game, like I said earlier. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, as any team that scored 42 points in a game that was 45-42, they fired their offensive coordinator. Go figure. Defensive coordinator and their defensive head coach still have a job. Woo. Man, I don't know about you, but this BS alert is going off heavy here. Unbelievable. Well, if you like that game and how close that game was, then you had to be crazy about what happened next in Minneapolis, up at the new stadium, which will be the site of Super Bowl 52, between the Saints and the Vikings. Drew Brees, Case Keenum. On the cover of it, if it comes down to a last-second drive, it comes down to put it on the backs of the quarterback, man, you got to love Drew Brees, right? Well, this game went back and forth and back. And initially, it kind of looked like we could have another game a little bit like that Eagles-Falcons game. We could see some defense in this one. Vikings get off to that quick lead. They throw an interception. I mean, Drew Brees was on it. He started a little bit rough. Anthony Barr, ex-UCLA, thank you very much. It's 10-0. Now it's 17-0. Remember 21-0 earlier in that Jag-Steeler game? 17-0. But if you're just going to make Drew Brees throw the ball, thank you very much. He can throw it as well as anybody out there. Anybody, including the guy in New England. Now New England's going to get themselves a turnover. And you looked at this game, it kept going back and forth, back and forth. New Orleans edges back up. New Orleans edges ahead. Minnesota ties it. These last, 3-4 minutes, unbelievable amount of score changes, unbelievable amount of action. Fantastic near play. A long field goal to put the Vikings up. Be honest, minute 29, you had to say, man, you give Drew Brees a chance to beat you with a field goal, he's going to cut out your heart. Lutz puts it through the middle. Saints have a lead. Now this play, 10 seconds left to go in the game. You're throwing to the sideline. How many times have you seen this highlight? That does it. Vikings going to the championship game. All about one simple thing. It's a play you make a million times. It's a play that's fundamentals. The rookie Williams, the defensive back, ducked his head, missed the tackle, and now his team is home for the playoffs instead of getting ready to go to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Classic ending, one of the best endings I've ever seen in a playoff game. And one heck of a way to end this divisional weekend. And we're getting closer and closer to the middle of the screen, which is that Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis. Got Philly and Minnesota, got New England and Jacksonville. I think this thing's done. Like I said earlier, this thing's a done deal, and the Patriots get themselves another Super Bowl trophy, but I'll let them play the next 2 games, I guess. But for me, I have almost zero interest in this the way it's going now.